This is Lesson 111 in Saxon's Algebra 1, 3rd edition. This lesson is on conjunctions and disjunctions. All right, now conjunctions we've already done, and we know that when we see conjunction, that is actually a statement of two conditions, and both of which must be met. And you know, even in English, when you see the word conjunction, and is the first thing you think of. It's two things joined by the word and. So in a conjunction, you have an equation, and then two things must be met in order to fulfill that. So in this example, we have negative 3 is less than or equal to 4x plus 9, which is also equal to or less than 25. So if we have negative 3 is less than or equal to 4x plus 9, if we do that, then we have x is greater than or equal to negative 3. But then if we take off this part of the equation and we say 4x plus 9 is less than or equal to 25, and then we subtract 9 from both sides, then we have x is less than or equal to 4. So we have to graph both of those on our graph because we have two answers. Okay, so it's a conjunction. With a disjunction, you're going to see the word or, meaning that it could be one answer or the other answer. Okay, it could be one or both that satisfy the conditions. Okay, so it's satisfied if either of these two conditions are met. So for instance, 2x plus 1 is greater than 7, or 2x plus 1 is less than 3. And then when you solve each equation, you find x is greater than 3. So you go to 3. That's not exactly right, is it? Oh, yeah, it is. It's greater than 3, but it is less than 1. Okay? This is actually drawn on the wrong thing. It should be on the 3. So let me fix that. So it's everything greater than 3. Okay, so let's do a couple. And in these, we're going to be given our domain, which is going to determine what your graph looks like. The first one says graph negative 5 is less than x minus 4 is less than 2. All right, so this is going to be one of those we can do it two different ways. Negative 5 plus 4 equals negative 1. And if we add 4 to the 2, in other words, we get rid of this 4, we find that x is less than or greater than or equal to 1, but it's less than 6. So how do we graph that? Well, if our domain is integers, then we see that it's greater than or equal to negative 1. So I can start on negative 1. But it's less than 6, so I can't go all the way here up to 6. I have to stop at 5 because my domain is integers, which is going to be dots on the number line. So these are the only dots that satisfy both of these. So this is a conjunction. Now this is a disjunction because you see the word or. Our domain is still integers. X is greater than or equal to 3, so it can be 3, 4, 5, and so forth. Or x is less than or equal to negative 2. So we start at negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, and we can keep going with that. Again, another disjunction. Sorry, I did the wrong thing there. I didn't mean to do that. My hand hit something on my iPad. In this one, our domain is real numbers. So we're not going to have dots. We're going to have lines on our number line. And we have two conditions that could be met. So x can either be greater than 5. So we start with an open circle on 5 and an arrow going right or getting larger. Or x could be less than or equal to 2. So we put a closed circle on 2, and it's that. So basically, x can be anything here or here, but it cannot be in between those two on our number line. All right, so let's do our practice problem. In A, we have a conjunction. So we're going to add 2 to both sides. Eliminate that, and 6 plus 2 is 8. And 7 plus 2 is 9. So basically, x is greater than or equal to 8, and it is less than 9. Now, I don't have, this number line is actually not good. Let me take a break and remove it and come back. Okay, so giving us a new number line that will fit what we have to do here. Remember, our domain is real numbers. X is sort of right in the middle of 8 and 9, so it is equal to 8, so we're going to put a closed circle on 8. It is less than 9, so we're going to need an open circle on 9, and it's everything in between those two. Okay, so really short line that satisfies both conditions. All right, now this is an example of a disjunction because you see the word or. So here we have negative x is greater than negative 3, or x is greater than or equal to 7. Now what I'm going to do here is divide by negative 1. And remember that when I'm dividing by a negative here, I'm going to have to flip this sign. So x is less than 3, or x is greater than or equal to 7. So our domain is integers on this. So it's less than 3, so I can't start with 3. I can start with 2, 1, 0, negative 1, and so forth. Or it is equal to or greater than 7. So it includes 7, and it goes, the next one would be 8, 9, and so forth. My number line doesn't go up that high again, but if this were 8, that would be what you'd want to do. Okay, but integers always means it's going to be dots on the number line. All right, good job. I'll see you back next time for lesson 112.